Baldur was the homeland of Night King Rendel, but it came to ruin after a great many undead was spawned. Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls. During my grind for the Baldur's Side Sword, we managed to pick up the entire set of Baldur. And you know what that means? It means Baldur cosplay time. Hell yeah! Might actually, we're actually fat rolling too. If we take the helmet off, we can medium roll. I'm gonna go with that. We actually need 32 in endurance and both the Havel's Ring and the Ring of Favor and Protection to be able to get the entire set and fast roll. But for now we're gonna go with a medium roll. I've actually not played with medium roll in years. Like I think maybe the first 2 or so playthroughs that I did of this game was with medium roll, so I'm really not used to it. But we're gonna try it, and as soon as possible we're gonna go and get it to a fast roll. But we have to get all the way through Anor Londo before we do that, so it's gonna be a bit of medium rolling. I managed to pick up a bunch of souls during the grind, and I'm gonna use I haven't I haven't leveled up the character at all. But I'm gonna use these souls on this key item instead, the Crest of Artorias that we mentioned before. So we spend all of our 20,000 souls on that, and for now we're gonna go and take care of the boss of this area. I've also gotten a couple of soft humanity throughout just grinding, because killing the enemies here eventually gives you a bit of humanity. And the sword is upgraded to +5 as well. I think the sword is obviously really good. I've mentioned that, and that's why I want to play with it. It has an excellent moveset where the R1s are really sweeping attacks, and the R2 is these stabs. It was really, really nice. I love that about this. And the two-handed are kind of the same, except that the R1 is not as wide. Is more of a just vertical slash instead of a horizontal. The shield is also noteworthy. I think it's actually the highest stability shield of the medium ones. So it's the highest stability that you can get with a shield that you can still parry with, which makes this an excellent shield. It also has, obviously physical reduction is 100. It has pretty good fire and lightning defense, not so much with magic, but the stability of 63 is kind of really, really good. We picked up 3 of them too. Compared to like the Night Shield, for example, with a stability of 56. 56 is still pretty good, but yeah, the Heater Shield that we started with has 55. And yeah, it's just a really, really good shield. It's a bit big for like aesthetic purposes, I think, but I really, really like having it around because it's just really, really reliable and good. And I don't often do these types of like kind of cosplay thing. I mean, I say cosplay. I'm just wearing the armor set really, but it's not really something that I typically do. Makes it a little bit interesting. For me, it's a bit of a challenge just to have medium roll, to be honest, because I'm so used to fast rolling. Like, I mean, pretty much everyone that has played this game a couple of times, they go for fast rolling because it's just easier. I mean, you lose a couple of iframes when dodging in a medium, and fat rolling is not even worth talking about. So we're gonna use summons, and sadly using summons in this fight makes it really hard to get the tail cut. But yeah, well, I'm gonna do my best to do it, but and you can clearly see the difference between Lautrec's summoning sign and Solaire's, which shows very clearly that Lautrec is not a sunlight warrior. So we want to go in here and try to start this as soon as possible, really. And we got the gargoyle helmet and a sunlight medal as well, because we summoned a Solaire and we completed our goal. We also managed to get the tail cut, which was really nice. I thought we would struggle more with getting that. So, sliced tail off of the gargoyle guarding the Bell of Awakening in the Undead Church, or patrolling in Anor Londo. So those two are the ones that you can get the tail cut from. Can be used as a bronze battle axe, bends dramatically during large attacks owing to its nature as a tail. We can't use that effectively, but it's a... well, we can in both hands. Okay. It's a really cool looking weapon, and I really like how it just bends slightly when you do the heavy attacks. It's really cool. Not really a weapon that is used a lot, because the damage of it is not super good. But it looks really nice. Usually when I have both Lautrec and Solaire in this fight, I usually am not able to get the tail cut, because they typically just ruffle stomps both of them really quickly. But this time they were very passive, compared to what they usually are. And I really love the gargoyle boss. Like it's so iconic to this game, and it's kind of the first roadblock for new players to do this. But if new players would just summon, that would make it so much easier, of course. But yeah, it has always been a big roadblock for people that are unwilling to or just don't know about the summons. They are really not that difficult. I would say that the most important thing to remember when fighting the gargoyles the first time, if you don't want to use summons, is just to upgrade your weapon. It's really cheap, really easy, and just go and do it. Upgrade your weapon to +5 and you'll beat them. The kind of trivia interesting thing about this this boss fight is that this it was originally, well, early on in development, it was not meant for the gargoyles to be here. It was actually meant for an entirely different boss, the centipede demon, and which is really interesting in hindsight. But it was probably like mostly because they had just like they had developed the centipede demon, and they ended up just putting it there for a placeholder, I would guess. But it ended up working out super well with the gargoyles, I think. And here we have the first Bell of Awakening. So you may notice sometimes in these videos that there are some little weird cuts somewhere. Maybe you noticed it up there. I'm not sure how good I'm gonna be at editing that away, but sometimes I just forget what I'm supposed to say. I forgot the name of the centipede demon. It just would not come to me, so I had to look it up. I'm doing this like completely unscripted. I'm just doing this off of the top of my head normally, and sometimes I have to look stuff up, which means that I will also sometimes miss things and whatnot, maybe. But yeah, I'm doing the best I can, dang it. Now we have Oswald here.
Greetings. I am Oswald of Karim, the Pardoner. Thou appearest to lack faith, yet magnanimous are the gods. Cometh thou to confess, or to accuse? For indeed all sins my domain.
So, Oswald of Karim, he's the pardoner, so you can request absolution here, and you can abandon covenants and whatnot. But I mean, most importantly, you can learn the, well, what is it, gesture. If you upset an NPC, you can come here and request absolution and pay souls for the NPC to not be angry with you anymore. Like if you accidentally hit Andre, for example, and he became angry with you, and you kind of want your favorite blacksmith back, you can come to Oswald and request absolution, and he will make Andre forget all about your transgressions. Okay, so Oswald, he's selling some interesting things. The Book of the Guilty and the Indictment, those are just PvP items, not really interesting. Purging Stone, though, is interesting. Ash-colored stone encasing a skull. Secret treasure of our store, the Earl of Kareem. Reduces curse buildup and breaks curse. Humans are helpless against curses and can only redirect their influence. The Purging Stone does not dispel curses, but receives them as a surrogate. The stone itself was once a person or some other being. So that's a little bit of an insight in how the curses work in this game. There is only a few enemies that can actually cause cursing, but to get rid of the curse, you can't just dispel the curse. You can't destroy it, but you have to find a way for it to leave your body and go somewhere else, and that's what these purging stones are for. They take over the curse into the stone, so that you are no longer afflicted with it. He's selling a Miracle of Velka as well. Miracle of the Black-Haired Witch Velka. Temporarily auto-counters versus heavy damage. For each sin there is a punishment, and in it is the task of Goddess Velka to define the sin and mete out the punishment. That's a little bit about Velka that we've kind of already talked about. We have her talisman as well. Medium for casting miracles of the gods. This black tuft of hair that serves as a talisman belongs to Velka, goddess of sin. It casts miracles, but not by drawing upon faith, but intelligence. So it's a bit of a different type of miracle to use the Velka stuff, where they draw upon intelligence instead of faith, which is usually what you would use. There's the Ring of Sacrifice again that we've already talked about. We have the Poison Bite Ring, which just decrease the poison buildup. Despite the dreadful rumors surrounding its creation, this ring is an unmistakable asset in its ability to help prevent poisons. So it's more our store of Kareem stuff. So that's just a little bit about...
You're not welcome anytime. It is only human to commit a sin.
There's a little bit about what people from Kareem is about. The Oswald here was actually supposed to have the Evelyn as a weapon in earlier on in development. Evelyn is a weapon that is kind of unknown to people that are not very experienced with the game, because it's so hard to find, and also it's a crossbow. So I mean, most people play this game with just melee. For PvP players, Evelyn is like a staple to the game overall. But now we're gonna go back down to Andre. And I used our souls to upgrade the character a little bit, with 2 points in endurance and 2 points in dexterity. And now we want to head down here, where we have Titanite Demon. This guy is a little bit awkward to fight, because you kind of want to stay behind him, but he also has that jump attack, but there's a bit of a lingering hitbox issue here as well, and sometimes when he turns around you can take damage from his tail just moving without it really seeming like an attack. But our Balder Shield being really nice to have here. I think my attacks would have been a tiny bit better with the reinforced club rather than the sword at this point, but it wouldn't do a whole lot of difference. This is not really an enemy that you need to kill at this point. I just kind of, most of the time I just kind of want him out of the way so I don't have to think about him later on, because I'm so used to just taking care of him right now. But he's really easy to just run past if you want to take care of him later on. And he will not respawn either. There's only one of these Titanite demons in the entire game that will respawn. We got a demon Titanite from it. I think we'll take a look at the Titanite more when we have all of them. Now we go into the Darkroot Garden. So there we go. A bit of an ambush here with him plopping up. These ones being really good to farm for some moss, especially before heading down to Blighttown, if you don't want to spend the souls on buying them from the female undead merchant. Okay, so we're gonna actually go in here and check this out. So this is the use of the key that we bought from Andre, the Crest of Artorias. Opens up the way in here, and here we're gonna be ambushed by human-like NPCs, but we're just gonna run past all of them right now, because if we run past them and we talk to Alvina, they will.
Is it not so that
aggro.
thou art new? Thou fared well to find me. But cometh thee not for the grave of Sir Artorias? My advice true. Forget this. The legend of Artorias art none but a fabrication. Traversing the dark. 'Tis but a fairy tale. Have thine own respect. Go not yonder knocking for nothing, I say.
What is your decision? What was the question? What she speaks so weirdly that I have no idea. I honestly don't know what she is. What the question is. Yes.
Well, indeed, thou art a strange one. Nevertheless, I feel some liking for thee. I'm Alvina of the Darkroot Wood. I command a clan of hunters who track down defilers of the forest graves. What dost thou say? Wilt thou not join us? Oh, yes, I believe we would suit thee well.
Yes, of course I want to join you.
I am very glad. And now thou art one of us. Let us establish a covenant.
Yay, I'm in a club.
And here taketh this ring. If thou wearest that ring, it allows for thine summoning. If mine senses reveal intruders, then I will summon thee. Fend them off, sir. I beseech only this. I shall summon others who will, by their honor, work tirelessly with thee. Thou shalt receive great reward, and whatsoever you shall pillage will be thine own. A true agreement, not so? But thou must heed the golden rule. The clan is thine own family. To thine kinsman forever stay true. Darest not in any attempt to double-cross. Have no doubt, such wretchedness never will we tolerate.
So Alvina and the Darkroot clansmen over here. They are guarding over the grave of Sir Artorias. They don't want people to go in there and pillage it. And no, not there. And we got the cat covenant ring. The white cat Alvina speaks a human tongue and has lived since the early age of fire. Alvina was a trusted friend of Knight Artorias and the great wolf Sith. So Alvina is super old. Like she has lived ever since the fire started, basically. And we're gonna see a little bit of that later on as well, or a proof of that, I should say. Here we have Shiva.
I've heard all about you. I'm Shiva of the East, captain of the brigade. Let's teach you the clan basics now, as there's no time to chat in the midst of fighting. Except there is little in the form of rules, you hear? Fight and hunt as you like. Whoever's fastest gets the prey. That's the way we do it. Only, don't forget what Alvina said. Traitors aren't given a second chance, for any reason. That's about it then. Don't worry. It's a good old time, isn't it? Great to have you with us. Good hunting to you.
So with the cat covenant ring equipped, you can get summoned here to invade other people that go in here that are not a member of the covenant.
Don't worry now. You'll be called in soon enough. Hunters with patience score the best kills.
It wouldn't happen to me even if I wanted to, because I play offline. This little ninja here has one of the favorite rings of a lot of people. It's the wood grain ring that would make you change the animation when you roll. You can actually push him off here and kill him, but if you do that, all of these guys will be angry with you. But you can do that and just push him off. Just quit out of the game, come back and pick up the ring and try to escape or kill everyone. They will not be happy. Shiva is a character that has a pretty substantial quest line that was removed as well. Over here I'm gonna show another one that I find worth just kicking off the ledge here. But yeah, Shiva had a whole quest line to him where he's searching for the Chaos Blade. It's kind of a throwback to a quest line in Demon Souls as well. But he was in search of the Chaos Blade, and there's actually an old item that is still in the game files that you can still use if you cheat a little bit. Now we quit out. When we come back, we can pick up the Ferris hat and black bow of Ferris. But yeah, so Shiva was supposed to be a character that you could invade as well, just like you do with Lautrec later on in his quest line. As it stands right now, there's really not anything to that quest line anymore. We will see him a little bit later on down in Blighttown as well, but apart from him being a merchant at that place and being able to sell some kind of interesting weapons and stuff for us, but other than that, there's really not much to Shiva anymore. But it's only thanks to the game files that people have found. I think most of the game files that like game file information that we have is from people finding them in the Xbox version of the game. And from there there is the item that would allow you to invade Shiva. And you also have a bunch of cut dialogue from him that would have been used in that quest line. I kind of always forget how many of these there actually are here. It feels like there's always more of them than I think it will be. Kind of wish that I had my my reinforced club here too. It would have been really nice for the reach with the jumping attack. Whoop. There we go. We got a couple more mosses. Would have been nice if we could have gotten a blooming purple moss, but and here we have the eastern set that the Shiva is wearing, and from here we can look back at the world. We have the Great Bridge again, and the undead bird. I think there is an item on this side too. I can't really remember what it is though. I think I saw something up here. I could hear him uproot. There's another one. Or was it? Was it this light that I saw? It could have been this light. Yeah, now we're back to the start. But we are gonna go to the other side of this too. We have the Stone Guardian set. We haven't met the Stone Guardians yet, but we're gonna fairly soon. I'm gonna. I honestly don't know if just going into the grave of Artorias place is gonna make the Covenant angry with me. So I'm not 100% sure if we're gonna be able to get the Shiva down in Blighttown if I do this, but we'll see. We're not gonna fight Sith yet, but I want to go in here and just get the ring, because we can enter this this area and just pick up the ring and leave. You see the big ass swords there. This is the boss room for Sith. We're gonna fight Sith way later on. He might actually be the second to last boss that we fight in this playthrough. But I wanted to pick up the Hornet Ring from there. Right now we're just gonna use the Homeward Bone and get out of here. So the Hornet Ring being one of the special rings granted to the 4 Knights of Gwyn. The Hornet Ring belonged to the Lord's Blade, Kirin. By boosting critical attacks, its wearer can annihilate foes as Kirin's daggers laid waste to Lord Gwyn's enemies. So that's the first mention of the 4 Knights of Gwyn. It's typically not the first mention that we get of them, but we also know. Well, I mean, we know even before we get the mention that the Artorias was also one of the 4 Knights of Gwyn, and then there was also, so we have Kirin, Artorias, and then we will also have Ornstein and Goth. But we will meet those later. So I'm equipping the reinforced club here because it's very useful. Uprooting these guys with this weapon is super easy. Oh, dang it. I did not mean to take that item. I wanted to pick up the loot from the moss guy. Okay, well, never mind. So if you pick this item up and you come back to this room later on, then all of these will be uprooted instantly. If you just leave it there, then you can come in here and farm them really easily for some moss. That way you don't have to spend souls on buying moss. I actually wanted to show. I don't want a fat roll for this though. We'll just take this off for now. Yeah, that's fine. I want to show the difference between the Boulder Sword and the Reinforced Club against these enemies. So these are the Stone Guardians. They're guarding the Darkroot Garden. So if we hit him with the Boulder Sword, +5, that's 19 damage. So switch over to the Reinforced Club, that's 63. The reinforced club does so much damage to these guys compared to just a normal sword. And they are kind of the reason why I pretty much always pick up the reinforced club, just to have it for this area, because it's so handy to just tear these guys apart. And also for these dudes. Nope. There we go. And getting this weapon is so cheap, and like upgrading it is so cheap too, that I kind of feel like it's always worth it, and something that I like to do in almost every playthrough that I do of the game. And here we find the elite knight armor. It's just the nameless knight that left his armor there. It's just a reason for us to get Oscar's armor, really. It's a nameless knight from our store. And I mean, it's pretty much my favorite armor set in the game, and I think that is it's kind of meant to be the favorite for many people, and it is for a lot. I know that it's not very rare to think that the Elite Knight set is the best one, because it just kind of is Dark Souls, really. You get the Partisan there, which is not very interesting lore-wise, but it's kind of interesting that it's the only spear weapon in the game that has sweeping attacks instead of thrusting. In here we can summon Witch Beatrice. I think there's a tiny bit of cut content with Beatrice as well. They mainly had a very big problem with her because they wanted her to be a child, or like a young teen girl, but they were not able to do that with the character creator that they had. So I mean, they still kind of make her look young, but you can clearly see that she's an adult model, just like every other female in the game. And up there you can see the boss that we're about to fight. And summoning Beatrice for this boss is kind of what everyone should do, unless you are a magic build or bow, I guess. Sometimes when you fight the Moonlight Butterfly, the Beatrice just annihilates her really severely. She was a bit passive this time, but usually there's really no issues with this boss if you have Beatrice. If you do it without that summon, or like if you come here with just having melee as your only option, then you just have to dodge the magic attacks until she comes down, so that you can melee the boss for a while, and then she does like an explosion damage and then flies away again. But I don't really see any reason why you would do that boss without Beatrice, to be honest. It just makes it, I mean, it makes it so much easier, but still, even if you did it with a melee build, it's not really a hard boss anyway, so it's not much of a challenge. It just makes it take a much shorter time. And here we get to a corpse that looks exactly like Andre of Astora. Which kind of implies that they have some really interesting lore implications, but sadly they don't. They are kind of just a thing throughout the game. They're typically holding an ember that we can use to forge weapons. But Miyazaki has said himself that they have no lore implication whatsoever in the game as it stands. They probably did at some point, but as they are now, they are kind of just corpses. That has really no meaning whatsoever. So because of that, we just continue, and of course there's a lot of things that you could guess is the reason why they're there. I mean, they look exactly like Andre. Andre was supposed to be the firstborn son of Gwyn and everything, so there's a lot of speculation that could be made, but it is just clearly stated from the developer of the game that those things are not important. It's just they're just there. What these alive trees are all about, I don't really know. I mean, the first tree is to cover up the entrance to this area, just to make you think that you can't go down here. So I'm guessing that they just kind of placed that there as an enemy instead of just having like an illusory wall that they often have in other areas. Probably just to make it more obvious that you could go down here and like make it so that less people miss this area. Because even though the gameplay implication of this area and the stuff that you can get here is not very severe, but there's some really important lore here. I always feel like there should be something in this corner. Always feels like I'm missing something in there. It's probably because my brain is jumbling it up with some other area or some other game or something, but it always feels like there should be something there. Now that we've killed off all of the stone guardians, we can go back to using our boulder sword. Here we find the Wolf Ring, being another one of the special rings granted to the 4 Knights of Gwyn. The Wolf Ring belongs to Artorius the Abyss Walker. Artorius had an unbendable will of steel and was unmatched with a great sword. We are gonna learn a whole lot more about Artorias later on, but for now, this is a ring for us that will increase our poise. Personally, I hate the aura that it gives to the player. I kind of don't like that at all, and to be honest, poise is not really something that we need to increase a lot. The boulder set has quite a lot of poise in itself anyway. So now we head back over here and we take this little road. Just want to make sure that he will not follow us down there. I'm not sure where he would stop following me, but I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it. There again, you can get a bit of an overlook of the undead berg. So now we're in the Darkroot Basin. We went from the Darkroot Garden to the basin. We have a little lizard. Some twinkly and chunky. Much rather get large titanites, large titanite from those rather than chunks, but what happens is just the normal, the bog standard archer set. Down here we have another Black Knight that has wandered his way down here. One of the kind of favorite enemies in the beginning for a lot of people, mostly speedrunners. Oh, we were lucky and got the Black Knight halberd. Okay. I've actually not used the Black Knight halberd a lot, but this is what was the speedrunning weapon for a long time. I'm not sure if it is anymore. I'm not up to date with speedrunning of this game. The grass crest shield being not super important lore-wise, but it is a shield that a lot of people use all the time because it has it will replenish your stamina quicker if you just have it equipped, and a lot of people would just have that on their back and two-hand their weapon like that. But we have a boulder shield, dang it. And if you go down, we're not actually gonna go down here because we're gonna go there later on, but if you call this elevator and you go down here, you will get to the Valley of the Drakes. We're gonna go down there later on, but that is one way that you can get around to this area very early on, because if you pick up the master key or you pick a thief as your starting class, then you can take the key and use it on a door there and get to the back way of the back entrance of Blighttown and run down the Valley of the Drakes and run up that way. Like before you kill Taurus Demon or really going into the Burg at all, you can get up on this side and do the game from this way if you want to. Over here we have a bunch of blue golems. The golems don't really have much meaning to us yet. They are fairly important, but we're gonna talk about those a lot later as well. They kind of go together with the channeler that we found in the church that we used the fire bombs on. Like the channelers and the golems, they're out searching for maidens, specifically for to bring back to Seath, the Scaleless, because Seath has taken his place up in the Duke's archives. Like the Seath was awarded dukedom by Gwyn for helping them defeat the dragons in the beginning of the Age of Fire. And he is doing all sorts of weird experiments over there, and the channelers and the golems, they are working with Seath. Okay, so in here we have Havel. He's actually already moving for me. I usually don't have him being aggroed at all before I go in there, but so this is a bit weird to me. But this is a good test of your either parrying ability or your ability to bait out a backstabbing, because those are really the only two good options against Havel. With the armor that we have, we might actually survive one hit from Havel, but usually when you come here and you have a character that has fast rolling, then you, like, Havel will most likely kill you, and in one hit. I mean, at least if he's two-handing his weapon. He has a very large and hard-hitting weapon, but yeah, we'll see how well we can take care of it. I want to kind of see if he's gonna start attacking or not. I don't think he is. Will you even come out here? I don't think he will. So we're just gonna get away from him the first attack so that we can get our bearings a little bit better. So this is the reason why I like picking up the Hornet Ring early on, because the Hornet Ring gives you a bit of a special animation when doing the riposte, but it also increases your damage quite severely, and it's really nice to have against Havel. In particularly Havel in the beginning, if you feel like backstabbing or riposting. Now, Havel is another one of those that I've parried this guy so many times that I should not get hit, but sometimes you just mess up. It just happens. And I mean, I showed that against the Black Knights. So. But if you succeed, you are rewarded with the Havel's Ring. Havel's Ring will increase your equip load by 50%, which will make it easier for you to get the role that you're going for. So this ring was named after Havel the Rock, Lord Gwyn's old battlefield compatriot. Havel's men wore this ring to express faith in their leader and to carry a heavier load. I don't think that it's not really gonna do anything for me because we're gonna have medium roll anyway. I think we're gonna be very hard pressed to get fast roll in this. We can with just the armor. Can we add the gauntlets? We can, but then we're pantless. I kind of don't want to be pantsless. Can we do this? No, we cannot. Never mind. We'll just go with what we had planned. So we don't really need to have Havel's Ring on because it's not really doing anything. But at the same time, we don't really have anything else that we wanna use in that slot anyway. So Havel was trapped in here by Gwyn. Gwyn wanted to get rid of Havel, and we're gonna talk more about Havel later on. But Havel had kind of a he had plans against the gods. He was not really a friend of gods, and Gwyn being the kind of the god of gods, he had to be hidden away. But as we get to Anor Londo, we're gonna talk more about Havel. It's worth noting though that some people would theorize that is not actually Havel in there, that there's someone completely different in there, because the soldiers that Havel governed, they used the same armor and the same ring. But I think it was only Havel that had that weapon, because we will see that when we get to it. But we're gonna find his dragon tooth weapon, and I think, if I remember correctly, is that one kind of clearly states that the dragon tooth was especially a Havel weapon, and not something that all of his men used. And also, I use the word men in this context as just meaning his soldiers. This is kind of a normal thing for me to say. Who am I to say if he had some women in his ranks too? He may have. I have no idea, but I just use the word men there as a word for soldier. Really. So we have the shortcut back here, and we've opened up the passage down to the lower Undeadburg. Then we're gonna go and traverse next episode. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope you guys enjoy the series. I'm having a lot of fun making it, and I hope that we will have a good ride ahead of us. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.